Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Comics.
Yeah, what
I'm
show is
sorry,
this?
what show are we doing today? It's so weird because I'm so used to doing this on Sunday. This Monday thing is a little strange for me. It's like I
This is
had
Momix Gate Mumping Grounds.
not only that, but I've been preparing. I was almost all prepared for the show yesterday. Then we didn't have it, and then I kinda slacked off a little bit, but then all this extra stuff happened. So
Yeah,
there
for
was
real.
more stuff to kinda tack on to the exact same story. It's not like we even had something different to add to it.
It just kept growing, for the past 3 days, I wanna say.
Yeah, 4
4,
almost.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were a couple of little things that happened today, apparently, and I don't we don't aren't gonna cover politics ever on this channel, but just because it's
Anyway,
tied
so
in
how about Biden?
but just because it's tied into Comicsgate history, Edwin Boyette apparently was yeeted from his position at the Hawaii GOP,
Mhm.
um, and I didn't listen to the whole story from anybody. I haven't read about it, but from what I understand, or what I've been able to glean rather, is he tweeted something considered to be questionable from the official account that was somehow tied to a QAnon quote conspiracy theory.
Mhm.
Um, and so they booted him. It even made the Daily Mail. So, yeah,
Mhm.
whatever. But like I said, we're not going to be turning into a political channel. We don't need that kind of grift. Um,
Yeah. I
you
I I'd
know,
say that's true.
everybody seems to be wanting to turn towards politics. Once, Doug got so successful at it, then you're followed by Mike. I heard, saw Sweetcast is doing politics now. Preston said he might start a political channel.
Oh
Um,
god.
yeah, I know. It's like they're all seeing some sort of easy money, large subscribers, just raking that ad money kind of thing. And I mean, that's all in good. I mean, props to Doug for at least being honest about it, that it's about the subscribers and the ad revenue, and
Mhm.
not because he has some deep-seated need to discuss, MAGA.
Yeah.
So, you know, um oh god, Lorenzo, no, no. Hi, Ray. Hey,
Yeah,
Jim
what up?
Turner.
And what's
Hi,
up,
Miss
Lord Finatra?
Hey, Finatra. Hi, Mr. Yanafui. You still have me blocked on Twitter, and I find that incredibly unfair because I unblocked you.
I think that's a good idea, Finatra.
Y-
If you're too dumb for political blah,
Yeah,
analysis, it'd be
that's
fun to hear. Uh,
yeah. Example number one of why we're not doing political analysis.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we have a really good show tonight. At least I think we do.
Hopefully. We have some
Yeah.
interesting content. It may get a little involved, and if anybody gets lost in the chat, just give us a holler and we'll try to cover it because
Mhm.
some of it is a little confusing. And it's a lot of information. It's going to be a lot of information to take in at once.
It's not that it's so much confusing, right? It's that all the people involved are pretty uh, on the spectrum, uh, so to speak.
and and there's a lot of small little parts that add up to the whole, I think is probably the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so, but first off, despite the fact that we don't really want to become just a Liam channel, um, we do have a little bit of Liam to share with everybody today. Um,
Yeah, let's do it.
it's a little weird. I guess that's one way to put it. He did not take kindly to our communism clip. Apparently, he doesn't quite understand jokes.
Yeah, which is what makes this clip ironic.
Yeah.
let's go ahead and
Let's go ahead and we unmute it and make sure I'm
yeah,
sharing
share
it.
audio. It's not me for once, guys.
It's for once, it's not Dean. So let's full screen that thing.
Keep in mind that these same people were responsible for one of their shows opens up with clips of me saying that I contacted inappropriate children. I contacted underage children in an attempt to paint me as inappropriate, and is also clipped together to say that I spent all of the Indiegogo funds when I never did. I didn't. I paid for pretty much everything out of pocket for a starter, and the funds have been sitting there gaining interest largely. I've spent very little on anything, right? But they still start their show, every single show, with edited footage of me saying I spent all the funds, and it's like, well, that's a lie. They've literally cut that up and put it together. And so we're dealing with lies and propagandists who are trying to smear me as being a liar propagandist. Keep in mind the people that you're taking your information from. Liam just lied about Vicky. Guess what? See you later. I knew that you're a troll. Vinny, get in here.
So the first thing, like the first two things he mentions are things that like in a way happened, but it's not like we talked about it on our show. But they were talked about on the Ricada live stream that me and him were both on.
I think we may have mentioned briefly, but we never opened our show, with any clips about Liam and
And I've
kids.
never,
Or
yeah. But the second thing was like the fucking so he spent all his money from his campaign,
we've
which is something he
never,
said before. Like he's accused me of that before, and I'm like, no, no, I've never said that.
yeah, we've never ever said that ever, and we certainly don't open the show
With a clip
every
of that every
with a
week,
clip of that every
we
week.
should totally open the show
Yeah,
with.
it would have to be Testify saying it, but, instead of us, but we've never said it. Though I did find it odd, that he claimed to have paid for everything out of pocket. All of his IGG money is still sitting in a bank garnering interest. Now, he supposedly lives in a fucking slum, right? Kids
Mhm.
with needles in their arms roaming the streets, people getting stabbed in his front yard. I mean, the place he lives in, he describes it, and I understand from what I understand, he lives in a pretty rough neighborhood, but damn, if you can't afford to move out of the shitty neighborhood, why is all that IGG money not paying for your printer? Like,
Yeah,
he just he printed all these books, right? We saw a picture of a pallet of books,
I
the one
think it
they
was a couple pallets, right?
right, yeah, a shit ton of books. Um, I don't know that he ever announced that the colored books came in. He certainly didn't put it up on Twitter like he did with the black and whites. I think he
Mhm.
was starting to feel a little edginess because they were late. Um, and so he paid the printer out of pocket instead of using his Indiegogo money?
Yeah, who
Unless it's
knows?
sitting in a bank in the United States and he's hoping for a better exchange rate, that just makes no sense at all. He says
Yeah,
they're shipping, right? And what, are you gonna pay for that out of pocket too and never use his IGG money? It's just weird.
yeah,
Nothing he ever says adds up, and you'd think if he could just be straight up,
yeah. Well,
right?
here's the thing
Instead of
about
trying.
that.
Go ahead.
It's like you the fact that he needs to lie in order to garner sympathy from people who like I think like the attempt is to garner sympathy from people who don't know like the truth about the situation, right? And it's like he has to lie to persuade these people, and it's like which are the people being his viewers. It's like that's pathetic. It's fucking pathetic. uh and he should feel, I don't know, ashamed of himself
Yeah, it's also what he should feel shame about at this very moment is cutting the price of his black and white book in half
Oh yeah,
from
like
50
just fuck the
something
people.
dollars to 23 or $26 or something. I mean, by like 50 something percent,
Oh
almost
yeah,
5%.
it's a slap in
And
the face to the people who backed early.
to every single person that backed his book. And if he was able to discount the books like that and still make money off of them, because I mean, I'm assuming he's still making money off of them. He's going to say he's not, that he's just cutting them to get rid of the inventory. Dude, you overprinted by nearly 700 books on the black and white alone,
Mhm.
right? Almost the exact same number for the color books. That's how much he overprinted, but he still hasn't touched his IGG money. Weird,
Mhm.
right? So he discounts these books for by over 50%, and that's a huge ripoff and a grift. And who's going to back your next campaign if there's a chance that somewhere down the line your books are going to go off cheaper,
Yeah.
right? Not eBay, you know, not some other way, not a web store that he put them on. No, he's offering them up in demand on his IGG for more than half off. And a lot of people didn't even know about it because Liam's in his own little Twitter hug box. He deletes every fucking stream, or he privates every stream. He currently,
Mhm.
last time I looked, I think yesterday, he's got no content on his channel again.
Yeah.
Right? So how do people know this? They don't unless somebody outside of his hug box says something,
Mhm.
you know? It was crazy.
I don't know. I
Totally
just think he
crazy.
should really feel like I don't know. It's just a bitch move to like victimize yourself like by lying about what other people have said. Like I don't know. It's kind of pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. We have another Liam video, but I might save it for later
Yeah, let's
because
just
Liam back to back is just
it's a lot. Yeah.
it's way too fucking much, honestly. So well, what's the easiest way to put this, man?
War campaign is getting doxxed out there.
Yeah, yeah, War Campaign is definitely getting doxxed, and
But yeah.
no, no, go ahead.
But it seems to be in retaliation or not retaliation, but it seems to be because War Campaign was out there trying to dox. Uh, but let's just go ahead and show you guys.
Yeah. So I guess it started early last week, maybe. Um,
Oh, hey, I see the guy
you see the
in the
guy.
chat. Yeah, uh, that's
Oh,
the name of the Kiwi who is out there.
who created a bit of a stir, apparently.
Yeah,
Um, so first, well, let's go ahead and we'll go through the screenshots that I've got.
yeah,
Just because. So the first thing that happened is on uh the night of the 19th, early the 20th, a bunch of Kiwis went into War Campaign's Discord. Um, from what I hear, they caused quite a stir. They went in calling people by their proper names instead of their handles. Freaked them the hell out. And then the next day, Mikey Woods blames Stupendous Soy Rage for doxing him. This was the narrative they chose to run with because I
yeah,
guess Mikey was the only one in the entire Discord who had backed Stu's campaign for the socks. This is my guess. that's how this thought happened, right? So, because there's no other way he could claim that Stu doxed him unless he backed the campaign, because that's what he was trying to say,
Mhm.
that Stu was using backer information, and doxed Mikey. And War Campaign being War Campaign, and most of us know how they work on Twitter. They like to create this little circle jerk, and everybody piles in.
Mhm.
Everybody who's still left, all fucking 6 of them, who are the main ones on Twitter, all started accusing Soy Rage, let's say, of doxing Mikey Woods, which was complete and total bullshit. Um, Stu was at work, I think, when it happened, when
Mhm.
the Discord raid happened. Um, but that was how they responded to it. So he tweeted about it. The next day, Mikey Woods got doxxed for real on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah.
And I think, the reason
Mikey Woods is a war campaigner.
y
Cheyenne.
yeah, um, he is now a moderator in their Discord. He was, gifted mod status because he took one for the team by being doxxed by Booty Warrior of Light on Kiwi Farms.
Mhm.
Um, and the reason they did it, and I'm pretty sure, and I think the post even said, was they did it because they were blaming Stu. You know, they don't take kindly to other people getting blamed for their own antics, which is, I guess kinda honorable. You know?
Yeah.
So, then this character showed up. His account was originally just called Wilson.
Yeah.
Wilson's account name was changed by a mod, on the Comicsgate thread, and he posted up this dox of Testify. Now, this is one of the lamest doxes. What up until this point was probably the lamest dox I had ever seen on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know. I feel like I learned a lot about Testify.
I learned,
Needs coffee fan.
yeah, he did a video about he did a video coffee review, which is quite exciting when you think about it, um,
Mhm.
unless you only like tea. He's what? He likes to fish, but we already all know that.
Yeah.
Um, what it's I guess what it was remarkable for was what it didn't contain.
Any good information? Like anything that
Anything.
someone would find interesting?
Nothing that anybody would find interesting that you couldn't just find out by looking at Testify's Twitter,
Or
by
just by like being like, "Yo, you like coffee?
or watching the trash compactor.
Hey, do you fish?"
Oh my god. Do you like to play video games? Who doesn't already know all this shit, right? It was so bad. Um, Apparently, according to Smug Frieza, even the address was incorrect that they posted in the docs. So, and that's pretty much all it was, right? An application to an esports showdown, um, a you know, a video, or his old fishing channel. I think the old YouTube fishing channel was in the docs. I mean, it wasn't really a docs. It was like they were calling it a docs, um, but it was more like someone throwing a temper tantrum. Right, and it was in
Mhm.
retaliation for Mikey Woods, um, his docs being posted on Kiwi Farms.
Yeah.
That's all it was. The next one to go up was Cider Hypes, quote, docs, also by Panboy's probation officer,
Which was the Wilson account
which
originally.
which was originally the Wilson account. Yeah, I didn't get any archives of it before the account got changed.
Yeah. It's
That
now
mod
thread banned apparently.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And his big sin, apparently, is he's a Power Ranger fan.
Uh,
Don't mention Power Rangers. He yeah, he's writing a comic book that he's not drawing. He's paying artists because he's a writer and not an artist. Apparently, that is something everybody needed to know.
this
I mean,
is clearly one of Kiwi Farms' best, most interesting doxes.
that's why I said the Testify one was the worst one I had seen up until this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it was once again nothing really interesting that you couldn't have learned if you didn't follow him on Twitter, if you didn't you
Just
know,
ask.
just ask,
Yo, you
you
like
know,
Power Rangers?
yeah, Rangers, his brief, short-lived political career. I mean, nothing exciting or new. Apparently the address was also incorrect, but, thanks, Smug Frieza, for clearing that up for us as well. Um, but what was interesting about this docs was it also included, I guess, whoops, hit it one too many times, was the supposed docs of
Yeah,
Ro.
this was like the
This was in
sell of we're not war campaign, check it out. Because they
Yeah,
were like instantly like
yeah,
spotted for being war
yeah.
campaign.
The instant as soon as they posted Testify's quote unquote docs, everybody was calling them war campaign.
Yeah.
Right. They were in that Discord having powwows
For like
and
hours that
for hours after but before, as soon as the Mikey docs went up, they were in there for hours trying to figure out what to do. And they came up with the Testify docs, then they came up with the Cider docs, and this is the same post. So it's not, they didn't come back later. Not that that's a big deal, but they gave us this docs of Roe. Um, so I blocked out, in case you guys didn't know, I redacted a bunch of
yeah.
stuff from this, even though it was
Even though yeah, it's
even
fake.
though it was incorrect. Like the date of birth, I didn't know if that's actually his date of birth or not. The date of birth for the
The
woman they
fake
said was
wife.
his wife, I didn't know if that was really her date of birth or if it was just made up. The
Mm-hmm.
address is not correct, is not Rose's correct address, but I don't know if it's an old address. So I went ahead and I redacted it. What's interesting, a couple of things here is first off, they tell us that his name is Ro Kabir Kumar.
Wait. Okay, so the chat seems to think I was making fun of people for being Power Rangers fans. I actually
He kind
I
of
don't care.
he,
Uh I own a Power Rangers hoodie. I don't I don't know. I
you were in a Power Rangers costume in a video we put up
Yeah, I
last
just
week.
showed that. Yeah, it was like a full on fucking
Full
Red
on
Ranger.
jumpsuit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's not a problem. But we know that Ro's name isn't Ro Kabir Kumar. It's Ro, well, you know, according to his Indiegogo, it is Rohan K. Paul. This is out there on the internet. It's not like I'm digging up personal information. This is from the Indiegogo about me page for his campaigns. All right.
Mhm.
Um, this is the woman that the docs claimed was Rose's wife. She's kind of hot, in a hot sort of way. But it turns out that Karishma Kabir is not Rose's wife, nor is
Probably not
she
her name.
Karishma Kabir.
Yeah,
Um,
it's Shiva Kamini Soma Kondakram. Uh,
yeah, she is a wrestler. See, now all it took is a reverse image search to figure this shit out. I mean, it wasn't. They were just trying to toss up a smokescreen to make people think that Roe got doxxed, so it must be a real Kiwi, which is,
mhm.
if they had actually included Roe's docs, I might have been impressed. I
I
might have
mean, I would have
I might
bought
have
it.
rethought about it, maybe just a little bit, and been like, "Huh, maybe it's just an idiot," but
Mhm.
and not someone from War Campaign.
Yeah.
The next one to go up was, Soy Rages. Um, quote, "Docs." This is the entire this is the entire post. I didn't block out his name because it's on his, Indiegogo page. So,
Mhm.
I did block out the date of birth and the address, and all his, quote, "docs" consisted of was his Twitter, the Soy Rage Twitter, his old MySpace, his YouTube channel, and a link to the sock Indiegogo.
Yeah, but, like, Stu uses his name, like,
Right. Yeah, it's not like Stu doesn't use his name. His last name
yeah.
is in his Twitter handle, it's on the Indiegogo, so that's the only reason, that I didn't take it out, and I didn't think Stu would mind. But he is a little cutie, right? So, after that, over the course of the day, when Rose Docs went up, this tweet was the first one I found mentioning, the farms or Roe or his wife. Breaking news: Kiwi Farms dox Roe's wife and start a thread on her on Kiwi Farms website. Still no thread on Roe, though,
Yeah. I
which is
think
really just weird. Um,
mhm.
really bad grammar, but it's also just weird. At 4:44, Roe tweeted out, "Put my fat wife and fat mum and fat kids online, please."
Heart eyes.
Yeah. He also tweeted a picture of his wife,
After
um,
asking people.
after asking people to do it, yeah. So he tweeted this picture of his wife, "My angelic wife, why does Van Sciver and John Malin encourage fruit farm lunatics to rape her?" Now keep him yeah, I mean, nobody said anything about rape, and we already know that it's a war campaigner that posted the fake docs.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, whoops, forgot to take that name out. Anyway, he also posted a picture of his mom. I'm gonna have to I have to fucking edit that. Also asking people to rape his mother because she's a Negro. Yes. Very weird. Very
Yeah,
in
weird stuff.
weird stuff.
Ro is starting to sound like, somebody who, needs, like, professional help.
Yeah. Um, the following day, uh he actually this was a reply to me at one point. "Not to mention these dumb cunts put the pic of my kids with me and Doug Ford up before I said squat. All good. I'm pretty famous." What he's referring to is fuck this post right here by Booty Warrior of Light,
Mhm.
um who posted a picture of Rose kids with Roe with their eyes blocked off, to show that the fake docs of Roe was fake and everybody knew it. And pretty much they've always had Roe's information, which is true, right? It's just a matter of when they put it up. So, sorry, I should have put that in there. I put it in the wrong. I was doing this for way too long.
Yeah.
Um, That post by Booty Warrior of Light didn't go up until 11:40 that
Mhm.
evening. The first tweet about it, claiming that Roe's wife had been doxxed, went up at 4:40 PM.
So we can see, where the discrepancy.
See is
Mhm.
right. Um, Roe's tweet about his kids going up happened at 8:19, which is really weird because that was 11:40. Oh, actually, it was the "Please put my fat wife online" happened
Mhm.
before that tweet went up, which was 4:40. versus the 1140 for the Post. And here's Roe threatening Ethan, which I found bizarre and strange. There are over 3,000 members on Kiwi Farms, and Ethan is supposed to be responsible for each and every one of them, apparently.
Yeah.
But this one actually comes off as a threat. I mean, your mileage may vary. Roe likes to spout off,
Well,
but
I mean, it's implied. He was like a
it's
simple
an
choice. Quit the farms, Van Skyver. You know me, bro. I mean,
well,
I feel like it's implied.
yeah. If they've got shit on Ethan, just fucking drop it, like we've said before. Just do it, because this is all stupid. By the time you get around to it, you're gonna be so far past relevancy that nobody's even gonna take notice, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really gave a shit about the last one anyway, right? I mean,
Mhm.
how much real play did it get? Not very much.
Yeah,
Uh,
nobody cared.
Nobody cared. This is Ethan's response. JSpit 2.0 asks, Frog, have the words of Smug Freeze's bitch reached your heart? Have you abandoned our hive of doxes and villainy? And Ethan replies, I abandon you idiots every day, but then I come back to read about Liam. Everybody
Fire.
everybody comes back to read about Liam.
What a beautiful
Yeah.
response. I'm actually going to give props to that response.
Yeah, it was a good response. I mean, that's the only response, really. What are you gonna have fucking Ro Kabir telling you what to do? It used to be the other
Mm,
way around, from what I understand, right?
I mean,
Isn't that
from
what
what everybody knows,
everybody seems to understand? Um, and Ro's trying to carve out his own little space, but that space keeps shrinking. And pretty soon that space is gonna be gone, right? Um, so in reply to Spectre, kinda, Spectre being Spectre, got himself involved in the whole Twitter war, so to speak, the Twitter spats
mm,
between war campaigners and some member and of course Spectre. So how that originally went was Tinfoil Hat Nick tweeted out that everybody that they should complain to Kiwi Farms' hosting company, which is like, I think it's 1776, right? About the stuff that's being hosted on their servers. Little did Nick know that 1776 is owned by the same guy that owns Kiwi Farms. So I think Spectre was just having a little bit of fun smacking him around over that kind of stuff for a couple of hours over the course of that day. And then he says, praise to the truest warrior of war campaign, testify, who has upheld his oath to make sure that lulls ensue and that the spurg out harder. And then Roe replies with Null's government name in a tweet. So in one tweet, Roe declared war on Kiwi Farms. Actually, there were
mm.
two. He used his name twice. So that's pretty much what he did. And then what happened, what he's talking about here, why your boy delete posts, is all of the fake doxes got deleted,
Purged, according to Noel.
purged, purged, and the responses to them were cleaned up from the thread because
They were fake.
they were fucking fake. Um, it's kind of against the rules to use Kiwi Farms for gang warfare, which is exactly what War Campaign was trying to do.
Well, I mean, like the first thing is, um, like they doxed, not really, but they considered it a dox of, they doxed Testify. Testify has an account. From what I understand, you're not supposed to dox other Kiwis.
Right. That's what I hear.
Yeah. So like already like off to a bad start.
Yeah.
Then like just wrong information. It's like strike two. Acting like a bunch of little bitches about it. Strike three, I guess.
Yeah. So then we null post this up to the thread. You can read it if you want.
Yeah, so he says, at Booty Warrior of Light, your post got swept up in a fail docs purge. But if you want to resubmit correct information, go for it. Rohan Paul made the intellectual decision to file a complaint to my host, me, claiming that you threatened to R his children. After careful review, I am 100% sure he's full of shit and he can go fuck himself.
Yeah. Um, so here's that post, right? And Dean and I are actually going to go ahead and read it. So because we want you to see that the word rape doesn't occur anywhere in it.
Mhm.
I can start if you want. We can take turns.
Yeah, sure, go
So
for it.
this was a response to the cider hype row quote docs. You should really kill yourself out of shame. You really can't stop fucking failing, can you? Power Range spurging guys look. One fucking post talking about Power Rangers. Someone didn't tell you what spurging actually is.
Yeah, and then it continues on and says, "You made a claim about Cider having gay Discord sex. You provided nothing. The rest of it, sorry, it's a little small. Give me 1 second.
I told you to open that archive.
Yeah,
I'll
the
do it.
rest of it isn't some spurging slash embarrassing shit like you think it is. Like having a criminal record for drugs, like that faggot cohort of yours named Gat. But do go on thinking the puppet shit and talking about his comic is some super own. Again, nothing you showed here is remotely as fucking cringe inducing as the rest of your war campaign buddies. Watching a word nerd video is substantially worse than literally everything you tried to own one of the Etsy boys with so far.
Also, you're not fooling anyone with the half-ass row docs. This isn't his current address, faggot. The wife you have listed, not his wife. We know Ro's actual name, and it isn't Kabir. Nice fucking try. See, we're aware of who he is, where he is, and who his family is, like his kids. So I went ahead and I blocked out the children in the picture because they're children. Um,
Mhm.
he had I think he originally put them up without censoring the kids, maybe, and then put bars over their eyes. You can see that picture on Twitter because Ro was retweeting it like there's no tomorrow. How dare you put my kids on the fucking internet as he puts his kids on the fucking internet? It was,
Mhm.
it was just crazy shit. So be sure to tell Ro to be patient before you slip his cock back into your mouth. His turn is coming.
Yeah, and then it says, edit, lol. Found the wife, in quotes, you tried to put in there. You are most definitely a war campaign tard.
Yeah. And that was her. So, yeah. So Booty Warrior of Light made no mention of hurting Ro's children. None whatsoever. Which is, it's not unusual for war campaign to lie their asses off at all. It's not unusual for Ro to lie. It's it's a weird thing. Lots of people in Comicsgate can't
It's the
quite get
only
shit right.
constant in the universe.
It
Uh,
is. The war campaign lies is one of the only constants left. Um, so what is even stranger is they tried to fly this flag. This was in response actually to a Donald DeLay post, which had nothing to do with anything. And of course, they tried to turn every large creator who posted anything for 2 days into talk about what happened to them.
Mhm.
Essentially what happened though was the replies were just their own, as per usual, their own circle jerk, where they just keep answering each other, right?
Yeah.
The same 4 or 5 guys just talking to each other endlessly, repeating the same shit over and over again, which
Yep.
used to work.
Well, it worked when, like, people liked them,
It
but,
it
like
it worked when they still had, um, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, relevance. I didn't wanna use the C word because 'cause we've heard enough of that. But it worked back when they had relevance, right? Um, they could get everybody whipped up. People who weren't in War Campaign followed them. People who weren't in War Campaign listened to them. War Campaign was a lot bigger than it is now. A lot
mhm.
of people left. Um, and so that's how they started a shit ton of rumors. They would just repeat it over and over and over. And I
Yeah,
was
and
always
eventually people would pick it up, but
right,
now it's just them talking to each other.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, exactly. So they tried to fly the we're blaming Cecil flag for a
which
while.
came out of fucking nowhere, like,
Well, they were, I guess, there was some months ago, some, Cecil dox people shit coming from War Campaign during the whole Anna controversy. Because Cecil sided with Anna. They were sort of anti-Anna. They were popped for fucking with Anna and making
mm,
fun of her dead sister, that kind of stuff. So, and then you've got this little guy down here, Kay Brady, who fucking who could believe that shit, that Cecil somehow gave docs information to people on Kiwi farms.
mhm,
I don't get it. I just don't understand. Um, WC SoCal was the last one, unless something dropped while we've been having this stream, was the last person to be doxxed on Kiwi farms. I wanna say it was he was doxxed by Smug Frieza. Um, and this was the tweet that he put up afterwards. Um he's strange little guy. His docs is still up, unlike the ones that the War Campaign guys put up. He tweeted out, "Wow," because now we're back to blaming Ethan. "All I did was back campaigns for Cyberfrog, and the email address I only for campaigns got doxed on Kiwi Farms. If you're gonna lie, at least use proper grammar, people. Now they just want to kill my fat kid because that's what you asked them to do." For
what?
Yeah, I guess, you know. Um, when his picture was posted, the picture that he's tweeted out here, um, his big fat friend there was cropped out of the picture. He
Yeah,
wasn't even in it. So I don't know where this came from, except I guess they're trying to be something.
mhm,
Gotta mention the guy with the YouTube, his friend with the YouTube channel, I guess. So he's blaming Ethan for and insinuating, flat out stating that Ethan gave his email address, which was included in the docs, to Smug Frieza or some other Kiwi for him to be doxxed on Kiwi Farms. Only this is his YouTube account.
yeah,
And the email address that he claims he only ever used for campaigns and to back Cyberfrog was used for his YouTube.
yep,
So this actually took them all fucking night to come up with. They have been in Discord nearly continuously since their Discord got raided and Mikey Woods got doxxed on Kiwi Farms.
mhm.
I don't know when these people are fucking sleeping or if they're just doing a lot of blow. Because
I think, oh, wait. Do they have openings for War Campaign? Oh, fucking Christ.
I know, right?
Give me the white lightning. But,
Yeah.
It's like they started like implementing this giant gay op and it just fell apart like as soon as they started. Like
Yeah.
just instant like a dead on arrival.
Mm-hmm.
So bad. It's actually pretty amusing. Like and like here's the thing. I'm not saying people should dox, but it's hard to feel bad for any of them. In fact, it's impossible for me. Like you you tried to dox and you just instantly just fucking they have to
Instantly
regret
cry
it.
about it. On
Yeah.
on an up note, um, they were kind enough to hunt down Stu's old MySpace that still had pictures on it, and he was able to recover a picture of Pugsy and a picture of Kiki, which is,
That
you
is
know,
very
so
nice.
there is a small happy ending. Um, and I feel like I totally missed something, and I had some other screenshots that I decided not to include that were from the Discord server after the fake docs by Roe didn't work. And I'm pretty sure that it was after that. Timestamps on some of the uh, Discord screenshots. I'm not sure if they were even in my time zone or not, right?
Mhm.
But it seemed to be. And he posted pictures of his kids, his grandma, his wife, his mother,
Mhm.
and all of them were like, cut off her tits, rape my kids,
Yeah, it was like
kill
fucked up.
my
It was
wife.
fucking
With
bizarre.
if anybody wants, I've got just they can always be shown, but I decided not to put them up on the stream. It was just a little bit too, even though I pixelated all their faces and stuff, it just felt gross. That he did it was just disgusting.
Mhm.
Um, I mean, there's plenty of stuff that War Campaign has done that's just grosser than shit. And to me,
Yeah, it was
um,
yeah.
yeah,
It's uncomfortable. Like who says that?
who who
I
throws who throws your family out there to the wolves like that?
well saying to do like
The worst shit imaginable, and then
yeah.
claiming that other people had already said it about them. I mean,
Like
it's
first of all,
weird.
even if some weird fuck did say that about your family, why would you also say it? Like uh but like secondly, nobody said it except him. And why would you do that? Like who does that?
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's just a really strange thing. I mean, he gave his wife's name in the Discord. His address was attached to one of the pictures,
It's
of
not
it
even a
of his
private Discord.
kids, and it's not a private Discord.
Why would you do that?
Anybody with a link or an invite could get in there. It's not, you know, it's not tightly held. It's crazy.
The dude needs help.
I think he does. Um, so that happened. Yeah. It's been weird because they're still accusing it's like they're scattershotting now, right? They haven't picked one settled on one person to accuse yet, even though a few of them were still going after Stu. Um,
Yeah, it's Stu, it's Testify, it's Ethan, it's
Ethan,
Cecil, it's
it's
back to
John
Ethan.
it's John Malin somehow. Anybody with a Kiwi Farms account, it's their
It
fault. All
it's everybody except for like I mean, yeah, anybody with a Kiwi Farms account, but like it's everybody except for the Kiwis that did it, it seems. Like
right.
so bizarre.
Yeah. Well, it's because they don't know who they are. right? I mean, you're gonna go after some anonymous Kiwi
I
with a
don't think
name
it's
like,
that. I think it's that they want to blame these people.
oh, of
That,
course.
you know,
Yeah, it has to be their fault,
yeah,
right?
they want to blame Ethan. They want to blame Cecil. They want to blame Testify. They want to blame Stu because they have big problems with all those people,
Yeah.
you
S-
know.
Everybody there, but Testify has an Indiegogo, where backer information is really, sacred and it's important, and that's why you shouldn't be associated or tied to doxing. And unfortunately, that's exactly what Roe just did here. Um, the
Well, not,
times the
yeah.
timestamps show it. The timestamps prove it. Even though they were bad doxes, um, they still included people's real names. They still included their date of birth. And um, doxing, schmoxing, but you can't go when you're asking people to invest and give their money and give their personal information to you, and quite possibly your financial information. You can't be seen or be tied in any way, shape, or form to throwing people's personal information out there. It's bad for indie comics. It's going to be really bad for Vestige 3,
Mhm.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, for all those people who hadn't gotten their Vestige 2, it's too late because they don't take refunds.
Mhm.
They don't. They have a no refund policy. But if Vestige 3 makes half of what Vestige 2 did, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I mean, there's more reason why like it's not just doxing you shouldn't be tied to, especially when you're like, running a campaign, but there's also like you shouldn't maybe be tied to criminal shit probably.
I think that's yeah. I mean, that's why Roe runs the campaign, um, because he doesn't have a record. I mean, it's Canada, who knows? But he doesn't have a record.
Mhm.
He's fairly, clean, even if he is fucking crazy. And let's face it, today I heard one of the most disturbing things that I'd heard in quite some time, and it was um a song. And I guess I don't know that they may have played it on the war campaign stream. I don't know, but it was it's basically just chants of rape, rape, rape over and over,
Yeah,
on
the war
top of
campaign song, you
yeah,
tell
the
me about
the
that.
war campaign chant thing that I didn't, make you listen to. Um, and it was just gross. And this is something that, from what I understand, Roe asked, Man of Sex and, another member of War Campaign, Dan Marshall, and that's the name that he goes by. He's very open about his name, to come up with. And they would play and they would chant this shit before they went off onto their brigading missions, when they would get them all worked up by chanting rape. Who the fuck
Yeah,
does
and
that?
that's, I guess, from what you were telling me, the whole song is just chanting rape over and over again. Is that right?
Yeah. Who does that, for Christ's sake?
It's
Normal,
weird. It's definitely fucking weird.
right? Normal people don't do that kind of shit. Even halfway, like, almost normal people don't do that kind of shit. I can't imagine. I mean, I have heard some weird shit about what has gone down in the war campaign Discord servers. Um,
Mhm.
but I think that one kind of takes the cake, you know.
Mhm.
That's weirder than the rumors of dick pics, right?
I don't know. They're both fucking. just fucking bizarre.
Both bizarre. Yeah, maybe. So while we're here, we might as well go ahead and go over this too. Since we're still talking about Roe and Gat. So Gat was previously doxxed on Kiwi Farms. And what was really, really weird is I only watched maybe like 10, 15 minutes of the D Live show when they were talking about the doxing that had gone on Kiwi Farms. And they mentioned Mikey Woods, who got tons of love because, he took one for the team. And they mentioned Black Daddy / Black Pope, that he had been doxxed, only he was never doxxed on Kiwi Farms, but they said that he was. And they mentioned, I think, Man of Sex, because he had been doxxed on Kiwi Farms previously.
Mhm.
But they didn't mention Gap,
Yeah, almost like they were trying
right?
to hide what was discovered in his docs.
Yeah, they never mentioned him, which I find really weird. He's their golden boy. He's he's their little golden child of War Campaign, the talented Mr. Wizard who has some of the worst fucking commentary takes ever because he's a dolt. And
Mhm.
so after Testify was fake doxed, um David Gat's docs was updated, and it turns out that he has a rap sheet, some minor stuff. Um, they've been talking about Testify having warrants out for his arrest, but it's obvious if any of the information was true, that they gave out during the fake docs, that they got the wrong guy with the same
Yeah.
name, right? Um, it's not like Testify is hiding, as far as I know, where he lives. Um, and so if the government wanted him, the government would come and get him. I um, I've never believed the whole that he had warrants out for his arrest any more than I believe that he isn't paying child support,
Yeah.
because
Uh,
they lie about everything.
but he does like Neeb's coffee.
Yeah,
Can confirm.
can confirm, and he likes to fish, right? So, this is from the docs. There are links to the Ohio code because they're not included in the screenies. From his record. This was all his mom's information, so I blacked it out, and an address. So, oh yeah, yippee, he had some seatbelt violations. No big deal, right? Um,
Yeah.
but then um,
Trafficking in drugs,
from March of 2008, he was found guilty.
possession of criminal tools.
That one was dismissed, but that was the same day as the trafficking in drugs,
Yeah.
right? Um, so
Is there a difference between trafficking in drugs and uh, intent
um,
to sell or getting
you
caught for selling?
um I if
Because isn't trafficking like
what it's traditionally been is, like, if it's below a certain amount, it's just possession. If it's
yeah,
above a certain amount, then the law automatically, like, assumes that you have that much of something to sell it. And in
yeah,
certain
but I think
places,
there's
it
a
doesn't.
different charge for just selling like a smaller amount than trafficking. Because isn't doesn't trafficking have to be like
I
a
don't I don't I honestly would have to look up the codes, but
yeah,
for all you know, it could be, if you've got like half an ounce of weed or something, that would be considered trafficking, you know.
hmm
Depends on where you live, really. And this was 2008. back before things got things loosened up like it has now as far as possession of anything. I mean, it doesn't say what it is. Gat says on Twitter that it was that he got popped with a bag of weed.
Yeah.
Um, how much that bag of weed would, I don't know.
Hmm.
For all I know, it could have been like Dark Griff, the whole fucking, 4 pound cylinder.
So Spectre says at Vickyverse trafficking is you have a lot of drugs, so plead it out or we'll let the feds handle it since
Yeah,
drug trafficking is a federal crime as well.
right. Thank you, Spectre. So,
Yeah,
um,
so it is a larger amount it seems.
right.
Yeah.
Um, there were some other there was, one of these is a petty theft is a not petty theft, I don't know if it's petty theft, but it's definitely a theft charge that he was found guilty of. Um,
Hmm.
and there were a couple that he'd been arrested, for that were either dismissed, but what happens in with court, so it's easy to say, "Well, that charge was dismissed," and what happens is they charge you with more than one thing in order to clear the decks, sometimes because things are, um, the courts are busy, or just because they don't wanna have to go through a trial, not necessarily because they don't have the evidence, but, there's lots of time issues, there's manpower issues, shit happens, is, you get pled down. You plead down on certain things, they dismiss certain charges with the agreement that you will take, a guilty plea for something, right? It happens a lot, and and so, you know, sometimes looking at what somebody is arrested for is also, um, just as important as looking at what happens at the end with the disposition of the case.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's getting late and I'm getting tired. I feel like I've been talking forever.
Yeah. Well, I
S
mean, I'm not going to speculate on
I'm not
which
either.
ones were real and which ones didn't happen and for uh what I will say is he was guilty of trafficking in drugs and then also possession of criminal tools uh and then there was other things.
Yeah, rumor has it that Gat likes to, has sticky fingers and likes cars. So, may
Maybe
drive
true, may
around
not be. I don't know. I'm
maybe
not
true,
gonna.
may not, I did say it's just a rumor, but yeah, so he's not exactly the guy you want at the head of your campaign. Not because, I get it, it's a pot charge, right? He got caught with some
I mean, we
weed.
don't know that.
We don't but that's what he was, one of the things he was found guilty of, that and the theft charge that I
Was the
know for sure.
trafficking in drugs for weed?
He says it was for weed. I don't know, without looking at without seeing an actual, pleading or court record. I'll take his word on that. But, the theft is, something to be a little concerned about. He's a 40-year-old, still lives with mom, and sounds like he's 12 and likes to yell about skull fucking, you know. I think
Another
there's
fucking weirdo.
I think there's a reason why Gat has been, sort of isolated from the rest of War Campaign, and you don't see as much of Gat out on Twitter,
Mhm.
except to talk about his book, and and I th it's just so weird, right?
Mhm.
It may sound petty, I can imagine, tomorrow War Campaign's like, "Yeah, it was just a pot charge, and they made this big old deal on stream." I'm not trying to make a big old deal, I'm just trying to say, this is what's out there, you know? And sometimes who we're dealing with is kind of important. And it's not just that he has a criminal record, but that he's tied up with fucking War Campaign, right? The same people that chant about rape before they go on some sort of Twitter brigade for fucking
Yeah.
Twitter, right?
Who does that? That's
To
not
go,
normal.
that is so far beyond normal that
Yeah.
I can't even explain it, really.
Yeah, true.
You know, it's just insane to me.
Yeah, it really is. But I think we got a guest.
We do. Say hi to Thomas.
Yo, Thomas.
I'm on. I'm on.
Hey, what did you think?
I think the only thing I should really even add to this is why we just didn't want to have any real involvement with Comicscape from the start. This is why I told Ethan Van Sciver personally that I didn't want anything to do with Comicscape. Not because I specifically knew it would turn out like this, but because it did turn out like this, basically, is that this, back in even 2017 and 2018, like this was the community that had already sprung up. And it got worse than I thought. The thing is that it's also still technically worse than most of us know. I think there's a lot still behind the scenes. Like, I think really the reason that War Campaign doesn't blab about all the stuff that they were involved with Ethan is because they're afraid that Ethan will blab about all the stuff.
I think it's just that it implicates them just as hard. I mean, that's my speculation on that.
I think it would just blow back. Like, the first person to talk, the other person then opens up. So, and they're both like, oh, we don't want that, even if it's, even if like they're both equally incriminated and they want to act like, both sides want to act like they're innocent of what they're involved in. But War Campaign didn't exist without Ethan. And then, at the same time, Ethan wouldn't have done anything if it wasn't for War Campaign. So that's, it's why I'm glad that, all of us in the whole shitty webcomics corner of this just had nothing to do with this and had no involvement in the first place, because it was, it's the problem of fandoms, really. That's just the way I see it.
I think it's interesting, like quote unquote anti-CG had zombie, and regular CG has had War Campaign. Both are pretty dare I say fraudulent.
Yeah, the whole thing, like top down, you can tell how it was supposed to have an idea to it. You always see a lot of people in Comicsgate talking about how it was the movement was a good idea from the start, but, and there's always a but, and then sort of a passing of the buck to how it was somebody else's fault, that somebody else did something wrong, or somebody else was the bad person. But from the beginning, the problem I had with Comicsgate as an idea was that everyone was
stop it, Testify.
all the principles were not real at all.
Hi, Testify.
No, that's not my name anymore.
Hello needs new shtick.
Yes.
Sawyer.
There's only one victim allowed in Comicsgate, and you aren't it.
Ethan took that from me. Even I can't be in Comicsgate. He took my shtick. Now I got to figure out something new again.
You could be that dude who just I don't know. Think of something with fish. You'd love that.
Oh, by the way, Shalom, Dean.
Fucking kick him. Kick him. We don't play that Hebrew stuff. I'll be as non-offensive as possible.
No Jews allowed here. Oh wait.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but yeah. So what was it like getting fake doxxed?
I was laughing. I'm like, okay, you guys pulled up my competitive PC gaming things from old message boards. Oh, okay.
I was
impressed that they could even do that.
Oh, they tried.
I mean, just like the fact that they could at
and
least.
The funny part is the one they kept like trying to like hang over my head. That was one from 2018. I was playing a game on Xbox, actually. It was a Mutant League Football. And they had a tournament. You could join it for free and win $120. I joined that site for one day. And they thought that was like the death nail for me.
It really made you look stupid, not them. They totally look.
They got me.
Oh man, so bad.
And they caught that I support the Neebs Gaming channel. I supported it from the beginning, and I buy any of their crap they put out every year. I buy their. They also put out socks. If you didn't know that,
Did you get their socks?
I buy them every year. I buy their. They sell beer sock koozies. Even
this is news to me.
Yeah, no, and they made this coffee, and I got it for my wife, and apparently it's shit. I don't drink coffee.
The coffee thing wasn't even accurate. I thought
no, it was. It was. I did a fake review on it to try to up their numbers. I put a 5-star, and I'm like, it'll make you kill shit or something. I forgot what I put even, but it was a fake thing. But I'm guilty as charged. I bought Neebs Gaming coffee.
Shill. Testify shill confirmed.
Even accurate?
Huh?
Is the fishing thing even accurate?
The fishing part's accurate.
Oh, okay.
The criminal part wasn't. Half of the docs wasn't accurate. It was just them trying to be cute.
None of it's even really a dox. Like,
a dox.
It doesn't matter. It's
here's his Twitter. Here's his YouTube channel. Like,
yeah. They looked up because I caught some big fish in Las Vegas, and they put them in the newspaper a couple times. It's like, who cares? What's the big deal?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit.
I don't either.
Yeah, no, it's just wild. A war campaign does it again. Makes themselves look stupid.
Well, they are having another all hands on meeting right now.
Yeah, that's what I read that in the chat. They're all in voice chat.
I sent Vicky the screenshot. Yeah, it's actually accelerated. They've now server muted Cheech again.
Yes,
that's amazing. It's like they can't even stand him.
Yeah, but they need the numbers.
Yeah, they'll take him in, but they just don't want to hear him speak.
And by the way, Mikey Woods is still not a mod.
Oh, I thought they made him a mod.
Oh no, they're just saying that to make him feel better. Yeah, they're just saying it to make him feel better. It's
how do they do that? Like
they make this fake facade of you have power.
Is it just like they give him access to one more room?
They probably gave him a special role in the Discord, which just allows him to click in one other room.
That's too much.
Trout is what Testify chases.
Yeah, that was the one joke I did see on the farms. They go, he's not a clout chaser, he's a trout chaser. I was like, okay, that's actually pretty funny.
That was pretty good.
I have a theory about Cheech. I think he makes all every time he speaks, he makes all sentient creatures feel immense pain.
Well, apparently he's into now. He's moved on from dogs to rhino fucking.
Oh,
I don't see how that's an improvement.
He went from dog to horses to rhinos.
Yes, he's accelerating quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's so just weird. Horrifying.
Dean doesn't believe in Jesus with his religion.
We believe he existed. We just don't believe.
Shalom, Dean.
No. I mean, that's still. I mean, I'm not even Muslim. I don't know why I was gonna say that's Muslim. I don't know. Fuck this.
What were you doing yesterday, Dean?
What was I doing?
Yeah, were you on a bender again?
Oh,
I'm not really. I feel like a bender means it's gonna end.
Okay.
And
it was technical. It was a technical.
I know it was. I'm just giving him crap.
Yeah.
Just to clarify something real quick. You can dox a member of Kiwi Farms if they've been halaled, but if they haven't, if that hasn't happened, you're not supposed to.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate all the people that came to my defense, but I'm just going, this is war campaign. This is what they've done. They've always done this. And the thing that everybody has missed about war campaign, they rely in power by numbers and intimidating by numbers. They don't have it anymore. Nobody's listening to them. And that's what's driving them even more nuts now.
Pan's probation officer, Wilson, whatever the fuck you want to call him. I mean, by all rights, he should have been perma'd because he violated several rules.
I thought he will. I didn't know.
Thread banned.
He was thread banned. But he's done enough where they could actually perma-ban him because he's doxing people that have accounts there that aren't halal. It's bullshit. He's failed doxing intentionally. I mean, it's one thing if you fuck up a dox and there's bad information in it, but this was part of a gay ops. I mean,
it was it was clear as day. Anybody that even doesn't know anything about War Campaign, you go,
oh, it was hilarious.
Smell right.
It fell apart within a matter. Like they spent 12 hours in their Discord at least planning this, and it fell apart almost instantaneously.
Oh, the Black, by the way, Black thinking that he was doxxed on the Kiwi farms. That was me fucking with him on Twitter.
Yeah,
funny.
they mentioned it on the show.
Yeah, that's what they're referencing. They like to combine everything, even though it's not the truth.
So the greatest portion of D Live last night. And
how did you sit through that horror?
I didn't.
Oh, thank Christ!
Horror. I only watched maybe like 10 minutes at the beginning, and then I caught like the last 5 minutes or so. Someone in the chat, because during the show is when SoCal was doxxed on Kiwi Farms, was while they were live on stream, and somebody trolled Ro into saying SoCal's full name.
Yeah, I saw that clip. Yeah,
they put it in the chat and they're like, say hi to whatever I'm not going to say his name for me. And Ro reads the chat and goes, hi, and says the guy's name.
Yep.
And then he says to this person, thanks for joining the show and our audience. Welcome. And, and I saw that clip. I don't know
at all who that person was.
I almost lost my shit. I lost my mind. It was fucking hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, Ro just doxed SoCal on their stream because he's so drunk on his own bullshit that it didn't even cross his mind what he was saying.
Not at all.
It was beautiful.
Shalom, Dean.
There's one final act to this that you didn't include in your screenshots.
Okay.
After I think they kind of realized that Null owns his own ISP. Then they sent a tweet. They tweeted out to and tagged Cloudflare.
Cloudflare, yeah.
Because they're going to try and strip Kiwi Farms of its DDoS protection. But what they don't realize is people have been trying that shit for years. Like somehow War Campaign, the biggest idiots in the room, are going to succeed where everybody else has failed.
Yeah, they contacted the server owner, and it turns out Noel owns it.
Yeah, but
there
have been plenty of people who have tried to take down.
There's Noel's post. I'd never seen him post before either.
Yeah, it was part of the slideshow.
Oh, it was in there? I didn't see it.
Yeah. And I guess Booty Warrior of Light got some special recognition from Noel.
Cool.
That doesn't happen too often. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him post before.
That's what I've been told by everybody that's been on there.
I mean,
I've been seeing them in Weeb Wars.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever actually seen him do anything Comicsgate related was when the Preston stuff came out. And I think the reason for that, because that made happenings on the main page. And I think the reason for that is that was something that people could understand, a bit of lulz that people could understand that didn't require any knowledge of Comicsgate.
Well, yeah, it was pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it was self-explanatory. So, I mean, other than that, he probably doesn't even give a shit. But the reason he took notice now is because those idiots fucking sent
they contacted him.
Yeah, they contacted him thinking they were going to contact somebody over him that could shut down his site.
Well, the best part was their half fake, or not, it wasn't even fake, their half victory lap until they got slapped down. They were doing it on Twitter before, and then all of a sudden that post came out, and it's like, oh, fuck.
And they were like, they took all the stuff about us down. Yeah. And I'm like, okay.
Well, I think
they did, but not for the reasons that you think
Exactly.
they did. Like they weren't doing it because you bitched. They weren't doing it because you complained. They did it because it was against, the way shit works over there.
Well, no, it was because that people were replying to the false docs. So rather than edit the post, they just deleted the replies that had the fail docs as quotes.
Yeah.
And I said, I clarified. I said that's why they did it. And then thankfully, Noel came in and added further clarification, saying, "Yeah, go ahead and post the pic of the kids again. I don't give a shit. The only reason why it was taken down the first time is because you quoted the fail docs, and we're trying to clean up the fail docs."
Oh, by the way, War Campaign's new thing is because they're trying to move on, it looks like, but they'll probably still come back to this. Jumping on the Methwin crap.
And yes, Sauce,
relevancy.
they are trying to do. This is cancel shit. It's amazing.
They do exactly what they say they're against every time.
Exactly. Yeah.
How are they trying to jump on the Edwin stuff?
Comicsgate.
Just go look at Pan's account. It's all about Methwin and Ethan and all this crap.
We don't say Methwin here.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's one of my things.
Edwin Boyette.
Yeah, that's okay. I find the Methwin thing.
What about Method and Van Skyver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just acts like he's not actually smoking meth. He just acts like he's on meth. He smokes cocaine.
Oh, and by the way,
is the
we also
cocaine?
did confirmation that Liam is fully 100% in War Campaign now.
Oh, is he?
It's a
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah, big surprise.
He took a meme from their Discord and put it in his update that he sent out this morning on Indiegogo.
Oh. That's a nice move to do on Indiegogo.
A meme from their Discord
Yes, he's in their Discord.
again.
Yes.
I mean, but their Discord is
Diogenes or whatever it is.
I don't know which name he's under now. I'm not in there.
Public, right?
Yeah, I'm not in there for certain.
Yeah, no, he used it. It was the one with the kids. They changed it to Oompa Loompas.
Oh, that was
That was from War Campaign.
somewhere else, but that was War Campaigner tweeted that, I think. So he could
Yeah.
have gotten it from Twitter, maybe. I don't know. You'd have to check timestamps, but
And he also that thing you guys were talking about, how he was saying that you guys said stuff about spending of the money. He was taking you guys and putting us together because we
That's
fucked
what he
with Liam.
always does.
I sent you. It was the system of the Crown video where it goes funds. We edited voices. That System of the Down song. That's what he was referring to.
Yeah, I had no fucking idea. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? But that's what
Yeah.
he does it, and then he does it.
just
I
like
don't know if
War
it's
Campaign
just how his
blaming
brain
everybody.
works.
In a way,
what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't know if it's how his brain works, and he just like
No, it's what they do to try to confuse people.
yeah, that's what I was gonna
In a way, I'm kind of glad War Campaign exists because it's becoming an idiot containment zone.
Yeah, that's what's really for is containment.
yeah.
So Liam absolutely belongs in it.
Yeah.
And by the way, why do people keep acting like Liam has done something yet? There are pictures of boxes. Nobody has received anything. There is nothing in anybody's hands. There has still not been a picture of the gold edition yet.
That's the old cyber frog.
Wait, Spectre. Is that I'd like to find out if that's true or not.
Crow and Aura? I don't know who that is.
Crow is my sister.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Aura is our well, I mean, he's still my sister's co-host.
Oh.
The one who retired but didn't retire.
Is that the one you don't like?
That's the one. I mean, I so over all that shit. But they if they joined it specifically.
I don't know why I'm laughing at that, but I
don't
might
give a
agree
shit.
with you.
Is she an idiot?
Yes.
Okay, then she's in the right place if that's true.
Yes.
Well, it's a containment zone.
Exactly. It's just what I said.
Yeah.
Mika Curtis is in there.
But you know what they're talking about. They're just talking about Dean. Oh, by the
Probably.
way, I have totally corrupted Dean, and he's just misguided. And it's all my fault.
Can you get him
Yeah,
off the
but-
white stuff?
If you talk to them, if
You
you
got
talk
it.
to some others, it's the exact opposite way around. That I was
Yeah.
malleable, and Dean is just, swooped in and is manipulating me. So
Vicky's the real mastermind here.
I am.
I can't say I'm a victim.
I am the leader of SVU, the Special Vicky's Unit.
Did we come up with that?
Yep. I was designated the leader of the Special Vicky's Unit.
Yeah, it's either that or Dickies.
My warriors are called Vimps, apparently.
I am not a vimp.
No, you are
Oh,
not a
yeah.
Vimp. Thank God.
For sure, absolutely, 100%. But we
Swear
are.
you say something, Dean.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Well, I mean, before the show started, Common America broke 73,000. I think it's going to do better than Liam's.
It should. It's
Liam,
I mean, it
yeah,
definitely will.
Definitely on track.
It will actually exist.
Well, I mean, the other thing is like obviously, if you count all the issues together, it already has. But like one issue
Mhm.
doing better than his book, and in less than 30 days.
Yeah,
mean-
I'm definitely not the leader of Vimps. I'm not in Vimps, but Isaac is proudly willing to step up.
These jokes are basically what the whole movement was unironically. It's like, oh, there's all these subgroups and all these the fans of the subgroups and the supporters and then the pay pigs and all this shit.
Yeah.
The whole thing, it just never has any, it just never has any unironic aspect to it.
Yeah, I get you.
It does here. Here it's all completely ironic.
See, I thought that this whole thing was supposed to be about political correctness, rejecting political correctness in comics, but
Nope.
No, I'm all about feminism.
it's like it gets autistic all the time. It's just like Gamergate all over again.
It's
Uh,
weirder
Of course, though.
because they're complaining about a couple of things weirdly, right? No woke comics. Well, comics have always been woke.
Mhm. For
Right.
decades, easily.
They have been woke forever.
Yeah.
At least as long as I've been on this planet, comics have been woke.
No,
but we just didn't call it woke. But there have been woke
Exactly.
comics ever since. What they're really, really complaining about is the fact that they're not getting the same comics that they got with the exact same characters, with the exact same kind of stories, with all the exact same shit that they got in the 80s. That's
All
like
90s.
or the 90s. That's their only complaint. Most of them don't want comics to they can't stand the fact that things evolve and change. Right? I mean, go back to the golden and silver age of comics. Shit changes over time. Right?
Spider-Man actually had one of the biggest, longest arcs through the whole Silver Age kind of series.
Yeah, but stuff just changes. Things naturally evolve. The audience changes, but they still want books for them as they are now that were exactly the same when they got into comics. It's a nostalgia cult, basically. That's how I see. I see what's mostly going on now. Right? I mean, it used to be about just don't buy the comics that you don't like. that was basically how it kind of all started. Just buy the comics you like, don't buy the comics you don't like, and let's just all, and we can talk about why we don't like them, but it's really not that big a deal. Why we just don't bother buying
There's
them.
some more complexity to that, but we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Well, if you look at, like, say, the Comics Code Authority, back when comics started, I mean, there were standards as far as what you could depict and what you couldn't depict. So, I mean, you're right in the sense that they always have been woke to some extent,
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, we're talking about comics. Testify. You want to?
I'm waking up. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
You need a
who's
pump?
not waking up is Dean.
You need a fucking liner.
I might need a bump.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, snort that shit, man.
But
I've never
I
done it
know,
before,
it's
but I'm
like,
willing to do it now.
It is fucking getting late. I don't know.
Yeah, it's midnight here. I can't believe we've been at this for an hour and a half already. This is pretty long for us.
Well, this is what
Well, look
happens
at it.
when you do a late show.
Well, look at it this way. I mean, this one, it wasn't Liam stuff, except at the very beginning.
Yeah,
I mean,
we did have another Liam video that I will be putting up on my channel tomorrow in the recycle bin.
I don't know, but you want to watch it real fast?
Nah.
Oh, I wanted to watch it.
Aw, that's so
I mean, I won't be against that.
Fine.
But
Fucking
all right. Let me
bullshit show with your bullshit rules and your bullshit.
Oh, I'm out of here. There's too many rules.
Fine. Okay. God.
The thing about Liam is, if there's anything to talk about Liam, I would say it's worth talking about. As long as it's other people's shows. I don't fucking want to bother with that gay shit.
No, I think we're getting pretty close to just done with Liam.
But I mean, if
it's sad
every week, it's worth covering at least a little bit every week, I would say, because again, he's one of the biggest lol cows in Comicscape because he's kind of the easiest target. Thing is, he's the encapsulation of everything that Comicscape believes and behaves. Just taken to the acceptable of, like, he's the one that it's acceptable and easy to make fun of. The thing is that he doesn't still really do anything different than anyone else.
Hey, Thomas.
Hi, Sarah. Nice to see you here.
Hello.
Hey, Thomas. Did you know that tits and ass don't sell?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why Common America has bombed so horribly. It only made
I know.
$2.
It's also, for the alt-right.
I still think I'm sure that there's things that he's done that people find funnier. It's just on a basic level, I think that's the funniest one.
Yeah, I mean, just for that alone, he deserves to be made fun of on a weekly basis.
Yeah, well, that's something. If you want to explain Thomas to somebody who knows nothing about comics, or not Thomas, if you want to explain Liam to somebody who knows nothing about comics, just tell him that story about how tits and ass don't sell.
It's a nice one. You said that sum up.
Yeah, because that's something everybody will understand, because everybody understands that tits and ass sell.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the oldest rules. It's sex sells. It's the cliche going back since the 50s, the 60s, whatever.
Right, exactly. They probably don't put it in economics or marketing textbooks anymore because it's not PC, but that doesn't make it any less true, and people understand it.
Good. If they could get away with even saying it, they would, because behind the scenes everyone knows it. It's sort of now it's just an open secret, but back then it was an open not secret.
Yeah.
Ooh.
What?
The way you made that sound, it was an open not secret.
Not
all right. Not secret. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and play this video. So full screen that fucker. Hurry up.
The other day, I was on a stream, and we were just chilling out, hanging out. And so Vicky has gone and taken that, and DA talks, guy, that well, we don't need to talk about him because he's a sad little loser. But
they just talked about him.
He went and he took it and he edited a whole bunch of Soviet communist propaganda over the top of it and uploaded it. Now all of my ex-girlfriends are running around posting it like it's the greatest thing ever. It's pretty funny because they're going like, oh look,
ex-girlfriend,
brain's not functioning because the way it's been edited and all this other shit. And they're like trying to make it to be this big joke, but it's like they don't realize that, like, to take an honest inventory of yourself and your beliefs and to really look at something, whether you agree with it or not, is not a point of weakness. I think it's something that we all do.
It's weakness.
Maybe, they think that I'm a crazy person, but I mean, I do a little bit for entertainment, as you see. There's a little bit of an act there, but they don't seem to be able to figure that out. They can't seem to, and I'm honestly starting to think maybe, right, that a lot of these guys, given the way they interact, their obsessive behavior and stuff, and the way that they do things, I'm really starting to believe that a lot of these guys are on the spectrum.
You must be kidding, aren't you?
Because I can't seem to be able to tell the difference between when I'm doing a bit and when I'm acting and doing a bit and when I'm actually when I'm actually being real, right? But to take an honest assessment of what you said, like I'll always do that. Like if someone brings me a value or belief system that I don't hold myself, or tries to check me, I'll usually consider that. It's part of the reason that I keep getting myself in so much trouble, right? And it's why they find it so amusing.
That's all very amusing.
Yeah, my whole thing is
an opportunity to try and damage or hurt me. But I say to you, everyone that's watching, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, should we not always be open to new ideas and explore what we are doing, how we are acting, and try and be our best selves? Am I unwittingly fighting the very system which feeds me? Is that what's happened? Because we are actually fighting for a means of production. They can't seem to be able to tell the difference between when I'm doing a bit and when I'm acting and doing a bit and when I'm actually when I'm actually being real, right? But
what I love though is that the video was just a joke.
Like literally, we weren't trying to honestly say Liam's a fucking communist.
Clearly a joke. And then the fact that he then says, I don't think these people get when I'm just making a joke. And it's like, oh, you fucking retard. There's no other word.
He doesn't want to be made fun of for his serious. He always seems himself as so somber and serious, and he's a very sincere guy. And so if you ever, that's the thing about a lot of comic book nerds is if you ever poke fun of them, poke fun at them for their seriousness, it's like a rape, I guess you could say, of their souls, not of their body.
There's a meme for this. It's those idiots don't know I was only playing pretending I was retarded.
Yeah.
The funniest part about that video, the funniest subtitle was the pauses in socialist style. I was laughing at that one.
It was funny because in that bit of stream that I clipped out and I didn't include it in there, he's like, I'm not a communist, I'm not a socialist, I'm not Antifa. And I'm like, okay, that's great, but nobody said you were. We were just mocking the fact that you were, sitting there taking it all so fucking seriously when you should know better.
And he was absolutely taking it seriously. That was not a bit.
It was not.
Even if it was, I don't give a shit. It's clearly a joke. I don't think he's a communist.
You know what? And if it was a bit, we made that bit better.
Yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, it was sitting there like a moron, just being like, asking himself, "Am I communist?" That's his whole bit, and it's like, a funny person would actually be able to make that into a funny bit. Liam Gray doesn't know how to do that because. He doesn't know how to make a stranger laugh. Basically,
well, I mean, not
and that's it.
Not on purpose.
Yeah,
Liam makes people laugh all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Intent is the key.
Yeah,
like I said. I mean, I'm only on the periphery of this Comicsgate shit, and his tits and ass don't sell thing made me laugh really hard.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be it for this show.
I think so too.
We're approaching 2 hours. There's only
There's
one.
Gene acting like it was his channel. I'm just kidding.
I wanted to ask a thing though. Really short though. At the beginning, you mentioned Boyette was dropped from the Hawaiian GOP or something.
Yeah, he was some spokesperson job, I think.
Was it because he supported QAnon?
It was because of a tweet. that he tweeted something that was linked to QAnon, from what I understand. You can look it up on the.
Yeah, where is it actually? Because I don't know.
There's like mainstream news about it. I'll shoot it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't hear anything about that. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. But it's also, I mean, sometimes it's a really tenuous connection that like, oh, we're dropping you because of this. And it's like, it was linked to QAnon. And it's like, you know, sometimes it doesn't mean anything. Sometimes I've seen a lot of really goofy QAnon shit going around though.
Yeah, Ethan talked about it. He read like the news articles and stuff on his stream today. And then Edwin was on JDA's stream with Nasser and I think Matt Krotz may have been on there for a while with technical difficulties, and Soy Rage was on there too. And
Man, all that stuff I really have no.
And the best part of that stream, honestly, was after Edwin was gone, and I only caught a little bit of it. But the best part was when Nasser picks up this note. He was, you know, they were showing off to each other. JDA showing off some book, and Nasser's like, "I got one better. I've got a letter signed by Steve Ditko," right? And JDA gets all excited. Oh my God, that's way better than anything I got, because you know how JDA is about Ditko. And it turns out the letter was like this total fuck you to Nasser. I'd written him this letter and I'd asked him some questions and he got really mad.
I think most of the news items about it are actually linked on a post on the Comicsgate thread, the main Comicsgate thread on Kiwi Farms. If you want to check that out.
Yeah, I don't even read that most of the time. Like I did read it a few days ago when the whole doxing thing was, and I was like, "What's going on with this?" So, like most of the time, I'm completely out of the loop. But
well, I mean, I know you don't like the Weep Wars subforum, but the Comicsgate one is very different. So,
well, I usually read the if I ever read anything on Kiwi Farms, it's usually that Comicsgate thread.
Yeah, it's a pretty decent.
I'm going to interrupt you guys for a second. Kaiser Crimson, Nasser had the very first Comicsgate book to ever end up in readers' hands. Stardust.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had he also had Trixie Kane, which readers got.
I actually read Stardust, by the way, like a few like last week.
Brutus, which of course Donald's sort of half-ass shipping, which isn't Nasser's fault. He had another campaign for Secret Comics that didn't make funding. This latest one, Assel, which is just the worst fucking name ever.
Oh yeah.
No offense if Vic is in the audience, because I know Nasser's not.
Vic and
this one just closed. As Nasser said today on JDA stream that as soon as he gets the money, the books are going to the printer. So they should be out. My guess would be within a month.
Nasser delivers at least.
Yeah, that's the one thing Nasser does do, is he does deliver.
But I mean, it's the whole the Richard C. Meyer conundrum. It's like, what's worse, a comic that never comes out or a comic that does come out, but it's by Comicsgate?
So that is it for us this evening. Thank you, Testify, Thomas, Captain Manning, for the first time ever for joining us.
No, I was on last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah,
because that was Dean's channel. I wasn't paying any.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I've hit both now. I've graced both of your channels with my presence.
And we thank you for it.
And thank you everybody in the chat for joining us tonight. If you have any questions about anything, you can always hit me up on Twitter. If you can find me there, or Discord. All right, I'm in Mock Spot. Everybody,
great show.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, donate to patreon.com/smuglily for our super secret videos. We posted recently.
You can chill if you like.
Yeah, the $5 tier. I just want to mention that there are new videos going up, and there's still new videos to go up in the future about some of this stuff. Even
it's not all just Come Town.
Also,
the Come Town is the public stuff.
I didn't not see your message or
Yeah.
your post. I was just gonna wait till the very end.
right.
Gotcha, bitch.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Why?